Hi guys, so today we're going to be looking at the EX8S, which is a multi-zone touch panel for RGBW LED strip. It's very similar to the EX4S, which is a single zone version of this particular touch panel. Okay, so I've just wired up a small amount of our RGBW LED strip to one of our F series receivers, which will link wirelessly with the EX series touch panel. So as I said, this is a 4-zone multi-zone touch panel. So in order to link the two, turn on the touch panel, quick press on the receiver, the lights will start to flash like this, and then simply press and hold the zone you'd like to link it to. So you'll get that sound, and as you can see, that is now linked. So I've linked that to zone number 1. Turn that back on. You can select the colours you like, turn the white channel on and off. Yeah. It's very straightforward to use. Now, as you can see, it's got 4 zones. Now you can link as many of these wireless receivers as you'd like to each particular zone. So you could have 4 receivers on zone number 1, 3 on zone number 2, 1 on zone number 4, and nothing on zone number 3 if you'd like to. They're very user-friendly like that. You can pretty much do anything you like with them. So the EX8S can either be used with the wireless receivers or a DMX decoder. Now DMX is basically a hardwired signal which is sent from the touch panel to each decoder. Each decoder would then be connected to a piece of LED strip. You can have multiple decoders on one zone, or you can have one decoder on one zone. However, you can't have 2 zones linked to one decoder. It would always be the other way around. So in order to wire the DMX decoders, you'll need a 3-core cable running from this touch panel. It's got a DMX plus, a DMX minus, and a ground connection. So that 3-core cable would go from here to your first decoder. Your decoder will have an input and an output. That is for the DMX channels. They basically daisy chain from one to another. So this is the master, starts from here, goes to your first decoder, to your second, to your third, to your fourth. Now they do not have to go in order of the zones you'd like to set them to. You could set the first decoder to zone number 3, the second one to zone number 1, the third one to zone number 1, anything like that. The decoders are set by a channel on the actual display of the decoders themselves. This just sends the signal. So it's very straightforward to use. You've got 3 save settings here to save any scenes you'd like. You've got a W button which turns on and off the white channel. You've got your brightness and speed, which if you press and hold will dim the LEDs, just like that. Turn that back up. And then you've got your 4 zones at the top. Got your colour wheel in the centre, choose whatever colour you like, and you've got your mode button for cycling through some pre-saved settings in the actual touch panel itself. Now you can use multiple EX8S as masters and slaves. So for example, if you had 2 doors into the same room and you'd like a touch panel on either side, that can be done. Now depending on whether you're using DMX or radio frequency would depend exactly how that worked. However, the majority of the time, the touch panels only need a 240 volt supply. If you're using radio frequency, just a 240 volt supply. If you're using radio frequency, just a 240 volt supply, live and neutral, nothing else is required. These always need to go in a plastic back box. We get a lot of customers calling saying that they're having signal interference, and 90% of the time, it's because these are in a metal back box. The transmitter for the radio frequency signal is actually in the back of these units. So if you can imagine, if it's in a metal back box, or you've got a lot of insulated plasterboard or a lot of metal work around this itself, the signal will struggle to get out. So you always need to be aware of that, guys, when you're planning your installation. So the EX8S is very similar to the EX5 and the EX6. Now the EX5 is for single colour strips, so primarily white, where you'll have the 4 zones, your dimmer in the middle, and then your save scenes at the bottom. The EX6 is for CCT strips, so that's white adjustable, but it's the same principle. You've got 4 zones, you've got your adjustable white center here, and then you'll have a dimmer at the side. Now these all work very similarly. They can be controlled with DMX or radio frequency. All of our EX series touch panels can be operated in that way. If you've got any questions, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help. Thanks a lot.